The Zebre attack unlocked the usually watertight Leinster defence on first phase twice this weekend. So here's a breakdown of how they did it.
At the back to Eden. This is interesting. It works for Bruno. Knocks it over the top of O'Reilly. They're chasing hard and Bruno's gathered.
On the first move, the blindside wing Bruno starts hidden behind the scrum. And I want you to keep an eye on his line throughout this move. Eden, at fly half, runs a slightly outward arc to avoid the defensive scrum half, McGrath, and reach the defensive 10, Byrne. The attacking 13, Crugne, then runs an ineffective overs line by traditional definition as he runs back in against the grain at the defensive 12, rather than staying square on his opposite man, Osborne. This therefore frees the lane for the defensive 13 to swim forward in an attempt to sack the unders line behind the advantage line. However, have you kept your eye on Bruno, the attacking blindside wing? He is now arced around from his hidden position to run a second narrow unders line into the space between the defensive 12 and 13 that the defensive 13 has left behind by swimming forward in an attempt to make a read on the play. Zebre have used the vulnerability of an ineffective overs line as bait to draw out the defensive 13 so far that he does not have time to react and cover the blindside wing as well, who makes the line break that sets up the try. A very successful double unders, single overs.
Yeah, beautifully disguised ball to Bruno.
In the next strike play, due to the move being ran off the back of a line out, there are two additional forwards in the defensive line. This prevents the attacking 12, Lucchini, from reaching his opposite man, the defensive 12, Nanai, instead fixing the defensive 10, Byrne. This means that the playoff 12 shape has, by definition, been ineffective, and now the attack are essentially running an unders and overs shape, which then means that the defensive 13, Osborne, again has a free lane to swim off and sack the unders running 10, Eden, behind the gain line. Combine this with the blindside wing, Gezi, being called to the short side at the start of the play rather than being there as an additional option on the shoulder ball, and the defence now has matched numbers. However, Osborne appears apprehensive to swim off and kill the attack behind the advantage line, perhaps after he got picked off for Zebre's previous try, so instead of shooting, holds his feet in the defensive line. This would have been a safe decision if the defensive fullback O'Reilly had shut the gate earlier, but because he is so deep in backfield, this just freed up the time for Eden to kick past the double long ball option over to the open side wing, Bruno, who finishes excellently.
It works for Bruno, knocks it over the top of O'Reilly. They're chasing hard and Bruno's gathered. That is sensational.
Kick chase in the end. Lovely score.
It's not often you see two kicks in the lead up to a try.